Howdy do, Ranger Roonies. I hope that you are having a great day, and I hope that you're looking forward to completing this assignment, because at this point you should have gone through two different whole videos, one about whole notes, one about how to use the whole tool, and finally now we are going to be making this piece of awesomeness right here based off the schematic that we have right there. Now, when we read the whole notes, we see that this one is a 0.5 diameter through hole. We see that this one is a counter bore hole with a 0.75 counter bore, half-inch deep, and a 0.375 hole that travels 2 inches in. We see that this one is let's see, a 0.25 diameter hole with a 1-inch countersink, and the 1/4 inch goes 2 1/4 deep. Then we see a 1/2 inch through hole, 0.75 counter bore, 625 depth, and it is through. So the side profile of these holes right here look like this. Now, my advice to you on this particular video is to stop the video often. I mean, I'm going to show this all the way through how to make these pieces, but you should break it down into about 10-15-second chunks or so that you can see everything that's going on. So we're going to start off. This block is 2 inches thick. It's 3 inches tall, and we're going to make it 5 inches right there. And we're going to wind up with something like this right here. So File, New, Part. We are going to start a 2D sketch and make a 3x5 rectangle. So click the Rectangle tool. Origin, go up, enter 5, then hit the Tab key, then 3. And that will make our 3x5 piece. Finish the sketch, and we are going to extrude it out 2 inches. So that is the beginning of our block right there. Now, if we look at what we've got here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, and they're on center. We can see that 1 inch right there, and there's 4 holes on center, which means we have to start off by making 4 points going on, and the points will be on this edge right here. So start a 2D sketch. We're going to choose this edge right here. It zips on around. I'm going to flip-flop that right there so that we're drawing on this edge right there. Now, a new thing that you haven't done yet. If you look right up here, see this? It's the red sort of angled. That's a construction line. A construction line is a very light dotted imaginary line, and it's going to help you line everything up. So what I'm going to do is click the construction line, then click my line tool, and allow it to index right off the middle. See how it goes green right there? Click it, and then come horizontal, allow it to index the middle. See how it goes green? Click it, and you'll see that on my screen, it is a dotted blue line. Dotted blue means it's not really there. It's just, you know, we can see it. It helps line everything up. Be sure to click the construction line off right there. See how it's highlighted or not highlighted? Turn it back off. Otherwise, everything we do from this point on will be a construction line, and we want them solid lines. Now, we're going to put in our points. So if we look at the schematic again, there's 4 holes. And what I'm going to do, click my point, and just on that construction line, let it index on there, let it click on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is where you go, oh, okay, the holes can be random. No, they can't be random. We're going to make these 1 inch apart. So dimension, click the line, and then this point, and I am going to enter 1 inch. Then, same thing here, to here. I'm going to make that 2 inch. Here to here, we got 3 inch. And then here to here, we've got 4 inch right there. Okay, so we've got all those and they're on center and they're looking great. Now I've got to finish this sketch. And here is the number one thing in engineering: save early, save often. You see that it says part 2. I'm going to save this file, save as. I'm going to save it on my desktop. I'm going to save it as 1.3.4 so that I can come back and do whatever the heck that I need to do in order to make this thing work properly. If you don't save, if you turn off or you run out of time or your computer freezes, you lose all your previous work. So make sure that you save. Now it comes time to start putting in the holes. And if you remember from our previous video, we have the hole tool. If I click on the hole tool right there, it automatically selects all the holes. But we're going to want to do this one at a time. So I am going to deselect all the holes that I don't want right now. So hitting the control key, click on the point, click on the point, click on the point. So we're just going to deal with that first hole right here. Now looking at our schematic, which I've got right there, the first hole is 0.5 diameter through. So right there, I've got the through hole. It says through all. I need to change that to 0.5 and then click OK. And that gives us our first hole right there, which is a 0.5 diameter through hole. Now you probably notice the points disappear. If you remember from our last video, we have to share the sketch. So again, if you watch, I go to this first, click on the little arrow right there, hover over the sketch. You can see them, they're ghost lines right there. Right click, share sketch, and now everything is back again, and we're all happy and hooray, hooray, hooray. Let's check out our second hole right here. Hang on. Second hole, we've got a counter bore hole going on. So let me click on the hole tool. And again, deselect the ones that you don't want. So control key, deselect, deselect. And right there, now let's bring up our schematic. And we want counter bore. So this is the counter bore hole. So counter bore right there. And please excuse me going back and forth. And let's look at this. It's 0.375 in diameter. Or excuse me, let's start with the counter bore. It's 0.75 and it goes down 0.5. So right here, 0.75, and this one is 0.5. Let's look at our schematic again. So 0.75 down 0.5. And let's see, we have a 0.375 hole that goes down 2 inches. So change it to distance. Let's get back here. 0.375 in diameter, and it goes down 2 inches. So 0.375, 0.375, and the distance is 2. Okay, so we can see it on this image right here. Click on apply and hit cancel right there. But that gives our second hole. Now let's look at the third hole. Third hole has a countersink going on. So let me use the hole tool again. Remember to deselect the one you don't want. Control key, deselect. And we're going to change it to the countersink for this third hole. And let's look at all the schematics right here, all the blueprints. So the countersink is 1 inch in diameter and it's 82 degrees. So we got the 82 degrees, but we need to change this to 1 inch in diameter right there. And we have a 0.25 hole, and it travels in 2 1/4. So 2.25, and what was that? Was that 0.25? Yeah, 0.25. So let's check this out again. 0.25 diameter hole, 2 1/4. So there's 0.25, travels down 2 1/4. 82 degrees. That's hot. And 1 inch in diameter. So that gives us that hole. And now finally, we've got our fourth hole. So what do we got here? We've got a counter bore, 0.75 in diameter, 625 deep, and it's a through hole. So let's do our hole tool. It'll select the last one. We've got a counter bore, and it is a through hole. Now our counter bore is 0.75 in diameter, 0.75, and it is traveling down 0.625. So 0.625. Let's check everything right here. 0.625 down, 0.625 down, 0.75, and oh, it's a 0.5 through. So 0.5 right there, and apply. And that gives us all of our holes right here. Now the question is, how the heck do we get from here to the other one there, so we can see the cutaway? Well, that's really simple. If you remember, this is 2 inches thick right here. So we're going to kind of do this an odd way. 2D sketch, choose this object right here, rectangle tool, and I am just going to copy the complete rectangle right there. Click OK. So all I've done is trace the existing rectangle. Finish the sketch. Now I'm going to extrude it 1 inch right here. But look at this. It says direction 2. So I'm going to cut away. So if I click on 1 inch, which is halfway, direction 2, wham, bam, right there, we've got our cutaway. Now you've got a whole bunch of floating lines right here. All we have to do is make those disappear. So find it on the left-hand menu right here. So right there, it's under the first hole most likely. I can right-click and visibility, and those disappear. That, my friends, is how you go ahead and make this 1.3.4 block. It's kind of a confusing thing, but again, making holes and countersinks, counter bores is really incredibly important when it comes to actually engineering, because everything is put together with various fasteners. So that is this video. I hope that you made it through. When you're done with everything, take a screenshot and upload it. You can take a screenshot by using the snippet tool down here. So you can snip it right there. Or you can also, if it's easier, export it as a PDF file, export PDF, and turn it in that way. So go ahead, stop this video, rewind, and replay as many times as you need in order to get to this block right here.